Hi everybody. Caddie here with you tonight, and still wearing my cute little bunny outfit that I made for Minnie Mouse because it seemed like a good idea at the time. So yes, tonight I want to do a thoughts video, and tonight's thoughts is on a TV series I'm currently watching. One that I actually was forgive any fans of other parts of this setup. My favorite in a series of series. What I'm talking about is Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Alright, waiting for all the hates and the dislikes below for that being my favorite. Alright, are we all done? Alright, good. Anyway, now the why I actually enjoyed it. Now, I did start I started late into Next Generation. It was almost when Deep Space Nine started that I had started watching it. Maybe about a year of Next Gen. My parents didn't watch it. None of the friends I had around watched it, so I didn't have much exposure. And I just happened to catch a couple episodes, and I was hooked. And then when Deep Space Nine rolled around, I came in excited and ready for this to happen. And I was not disappointed. Now, there were some up times and some bad times, and some character decisions I wasn't as big a fan of, but I mean, this wasn't just made for me, this was made for everybody. But even amongst all the hits and misses, even the misses in my book were still effectively pretty good hits. Just not necessarily the choices I would have made, but again, not my choice to make. I get to watch the thing, not make the thing. Otherwise, that's not my job. Hashtag not Caddie's job. Now, the first season you start off with very much, as I refer to it in almost every show this type, the Get to Know Your Neighbors season. And yeah, it was a full season. I think it was like a 24 episode first season, something like that. And it all was very much get to know your neighbors. You're getting to be acquainted with the concepts and the backstories of the main heroes, a lot of the side characters like Quark and Garrick, Quark being the Ferengi bartender, his kid Nog, his brother Rom, who is Nog's daddy. Some of the ones that are just kind of thrown out there, but actually stuck, like more in the bar attendee, all the main hero types like Odo, the changeling security guy, Commander. This guy still is Commander at the beginning. Major Kira, the Bajoran liaison, second in command person, and Lieutenant Dax, the Trill with 200 years of experience in her head, the young doctor who just made it out of medical school, Dr. Julian Bashir, and a returning favorite from Next Gen, we have Miles O'Brien. He was a transporter chief in the Enterprise, and now he is the chief engineer on this acquired Cardassian space station that was left in orbit of Bajor after the occupation was completed. Now we're not in, a good part of this is we are not in Federation space. In fact, the Bajorans are not part of the Federation. They're looking to bid to become part. So you have an outside environment. You're no longer in a safety net of being in a big, safe starship. You're not in and amongst a dozen other ships. You're not just lounging about in the happy happy-go-lucky Federation, you're in effectively the outskirts. And I think that's why I really liked it. We were experiencing a dirty, somewhat broken down, needing a lot of love and care and not a lot of clean shirts to do it in. We have only a few clean shirt guys in there, and the rest are locals. Bajoran, not so technicals that are now becoming the technical people. We have people just kind of thrown into their space. We have residents because there's people who live on the station as traders, as merchants, as just basic employees of any of these facilities and of the station as part of the maintenance crews. So we have all of these people that are just there, of many different races too, not just the Bajorans. You have other groups of people that are on hand, other traders that come by from cargo ships and whatnot. So you have a variety of what's going on all the time. So even the Get to Know Your Neighbors series, a season of season 1, still was actually really good. Then we started to get into the Bajoran political situation. Yeah, yes, we did discover the wormhole in the first episode, but that doesn't mean we go out and have wormhole excitement constantly. Second season was muchly political situation, electing a new Kai, their spiritual leader. Going around and seeing the different aspects of their political environment. And that was actually really intriguing. Season 3 really kind of summed that up and kind of put a lot of things to a head. It was right there at the end of season 3 that we really discovered this overwhelming overhead threat that we didn't really know much about, but we heard about a couple times from wormhole people, from Gamma Quadrant people. The Dominion. They finally actually surface. We find the other changelings like Odo. They happen to be the heads of this Dominion, the founders. And we found out how ruthless their soldiers are, how willing they are to just sacrifice themselves to take out a Galaxy-class starship just to, flick their nose off at these invaders. They'll just do what they gotta do, sacrifice their lives to show how dedicated they are to their founders. It's brutal. Currently in the middle of watching it again. I'm into season 4. Again, I have seen it a lot of times, but I'm just saying where I'm at right now in my watching. Around then is when we got the Defiant, their attack class type ship, which basically sticks with the station and they use for more scouting. Because before then, all we had was some runabouts, which were, well, shuttlecraft with more storage space and passenger room and some better weapons and a better hyperdrive, warp drive, whatever, you know what I mean. So now we have an actual attack craft. Not something you'd want to stay in. It had like tiny little bunk rooms for the crew when they're using it. So not your life zone, more your just kind of sleeping space if you're in there for more than a day or so. It's also around when Worf came to join them. Next Gen had just kind of ended, and generations had happened, and at that point, the Enterprise D got, well, it got D'd. So now Worf needed a job, and he came to work on Deep Space Nine. So he had a lot of good element of the brash Klingon view. We started getting more good Klingon types episodes. The Klingons definitely started to play a role in the war effort because now the Dominion's starting to become a thing more. The Romulans are a big part of this. A lot of them try to go attack the Dominion. At some point, the Dominion and the Cardassians get together, and they get all buddy-buddy. Now, Dominion has an Alpha Quadrant ally. The Dominion then it starts getting real good, takes over Deep Space Nine for a good bit of the season. Just before then, the crew manages to put up a minefield in front of the wormhole, a self-replicating cloaked minefield, so you can't get anything else through the wormhole. So the Dominion is now trapped with what they have on this side of the galaxy, but they took over Deep Space Nine just after that minefield got laid. Then we spend, it's about a half a season of just flat out warfare between the Federation and the Dominion and the Klingons, and I believe the Romulans are doing this, trying to take out this offender of their quadrant. All the while, the station now getting reoccupied by the Cardassians and the Dominion, and things are kind of normal-ish for the residents. Not great, but normal-ish, which was definitely different than whenever it was the Cardassian mining slave station that it used to be. Fortunately, though, the Federation does take back Deep Space Nine. Unfortunately, the minefield gets blown up just at the same time, so, well, protection wave goes away, but Dominion is forced back into Cardassia. Around this time, the Dominion gets another ally, the Breen, and they have really strong ships. They have weapons that are like mauling the Federation and the Klingons as they're attacking in towards Cardassian space. And it gets really interesting there, as now the Dominion got a new friend who's more powerful than these Cardassians that they had promised things to and allied with. So now the Cardassians are getting the backseat treatment in their own worlds and watching the Dominion sacrifice their people to protect the other soldiers. Yeah, Cardassians didn't take that well. They're starting to do a rebellion. So the Cardassians then are starting to help pick out the Dominion, which is occupying their space, along with the Breen, which is occupying their space. They're getting attacks from the Klingons, the Federation, the Romulans. Everybody's getting in this. Everybody. Lots of big space boom booms. Lots of good action. It's an intense end. We even get closure on a lot of the spiritual stuff with the Cisco being the emissary of the Bajoran people and stuff. He gets lost into wormhole space or whatever, kind of disappears. Whatever. I kind of thought that was kind of not the best way to just get rid of him, but again, not my story, not my choices. Kai Wynn gets taken out for her hypocrisy. Kind of cool. Okay, good schadenfreude there. Finally happy to see her get her comeuppance, since she was kind of a, turd burger since season 1, where she showed up as a Vedic, which is like a kind of a bishop if you're Catholic or whatever. And Kai being like Pope plus, because their religion was like bigger than their government levels, so being Kai was like effectively God mode in their world. And all in all, Dominion gets taken out. They kind of do a surrender thing in the end. Odo helped save them from a plague that the Federation actually created. So good work, Odo. And gets them to all be all peaceful and stuff. So yay! In the end, a lot of better relations between the Romulans, the Klingons, the Cardassians, the Bajorans, Federation. Everybody gets along a lot better. I don't know about the Breen. I think they're just pissed off in the end because, well, they got brought in as kind of like the final hired guns, and you don't really see much of them afterwards. I don't want to get into every episode because there were 7 seasons. There were like 20-some episodes in every season. But that was kind of the gist of it from point A to point Z. And I could really say it was one of my favorite TV series to watch. And it's why I'm watching it again right now. And it's definitely, I know, I'm bad for saying it, my favorite Star Trek series. And for good reason. The characters were really powerful. The things felt like they had impact. When you shot at that station, sometimes there were holes left in it for a while. We lost runabouts all the time. People were getting kidnapped. Lawlessness was fairly common in this environment because you couldn't have just direct law because there's so much going on. It was fun. It was exciting. It was a ride, and one I would definitely take again and again. Well, I'm taking it right now. I'm probably gonna start watching it as soon as I'm done recording this video. That's the kind of line I am. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this. Do you have a thought on your favorite Star Trek or that sort of series that really set home with you and said, man, that's my sci-fi jam. That's me. There's a lot out there. There's a lot of shows I like. Can't necessarily say what all ones I like better than other ones in most cases, because it's like comparing apples to oranges. But as far as Star Trek goes, I'm comparing apples to apples, and it's probably my favorite apple. So don't forget to like, comment about your opinions on Star Trek stuff, subscribe, and hit that little dingly bell. The little dingly bell makes YouTube happy and alerts you when I make new videos. If you're interested, the Patreon link is in the description below. Feel free to go there if you're so inclined. I enjoy every penny that's put in. I use it to help make better videos. And most importantly, though, definitely thank you for watching. Please share this video with your friends. More people that watch, the more people will notice my videos, and YouTube will feed it to more people. I hope you're all being cute little lions, lionesses, cubs, bunnies, and whatever else you feel like being tonight. And I'll see you again next time. Be good.